What makes a good locator? Locating may seem difficult to the untrained eye, although when you follow the process and do things right the first time, things generally turn out for the better, more often than not. You hear the stories about individuals being the best locator there is, and other stories of not so good locators. But what makes the difference between these good locators and not so good locators? We have a saying in our team: locating isn't hard, people make locating hard. Each utility locating or surveying job has a set process to follow, which seems like an easy thing to do. Although complacency, laziness, poor communication, and that attitude of "she'll be right" is the usual common denominator when there are utility strikes and damages. The good locators who do their best are the ones who are locating like they're on the same team as the client themselves. One team, one dream. We are one team when we are locating underground services alongside the field crews out on site performing the excavation work. Good locators want the guys digging to succeed on their project and to not have to bust anything that may slow their job down. They care. They have that attitude of doing it right the first time and not wanting to come back to fix something that they could have done when we already had the chance the first time. The common things that are not so good locators may say are, "she'll be right," "I don't think we need to open that pit," "don't worry about XYZ," "I don't think we need to do that," "I don't reckon I'll get a signal on that pipe anyway, so I'm not going to try." Good locators know how hard excavating around underground services is, and don't want anyone to take the chance to make their life harder than it should be. It's not about using luck and best wishes that something bad may not take place. It's about following the process, doing what needs to be done to be certain and to get the job done as best as possible. Being the best and doing the best. You can be the smartest, strongest, most educated person when it comes to underground services, dial before you dig, and the installation of underground utilities. But if you take shortcuts and do not do the job right the first time, that all means nothing compared to someone who's going to turn up with the right attitude of keeping people safe. There's a quote in the sporting world which really resonates with our team, which is, "Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard." Book smarts, intelligence, and experience is a wonderful thing, but a locator that fails to do the fundamentals right may get away with being complacent on the odd occasion, but it won't be long until they are caught out being that lazy locator. Some of the concerns of doing it right the first time are that it commonly takes a bit longer to complete than most are expecting. Some clients had estimated a job may have taken X amount of hours, but the good locator will need 2x the allocated time. When you do your checks and balances, time takes time. A good locator is not going out on site and just using a power mode scan and calling it a day. They are hooking up and connecting onto all visible features, as well as lifting pits and manholes to get a complete understanding of what's buried underground. There's a balancing act of meeting the client's expectations of locating all traceable underground surfaces they can, and also doing it inside the allocated time frame. What's the quickest way to get through a locating job? It's by not locating underground services. Good locators go through the steps of educating their clients on their expectations from what's required to get the job done right. Every now and again, we come across a job which should be a quick one that turns out to be a half day, if not a full day's worth of work. It's because when our team goes to site, we're not just completing a quick passive scan you may have seen someone quickly do before. We are completing a thorough subsurface utility investigation. When disasters happen on site, estimates on time can blow out if we're not doing the job properly the first time. The ground crew and workers on site of the project are being delayed, and these damages have potential for the repairs to also extend this downtime. There's this difficult life lesson that once learnt makes a whole lot of sense, and it is, the poor man pays twice. When you're paying for something, it needs to be right. Whether it's a physical product or item, or underground service locating. We can either do it right the first time, or us or someone else will come back and need to do it again a second time. So that's a quick rundown of what makes a good locator the person they are, and some of the reasons why not so good locators are who they are. I hope you found this information helpful. I would love for you to share some goodwill and shout out some of those top locators that you know of. If there's someone you know of that is one of the best locators you've seen, they probably follow a lot of the things I talked about earlier. Tag or comment this person and show them a bit of appreciation to those in the utility locating and surveying industry. Until I see you guys again next time, peace.